This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
A promise kept. The Laurel Mall in Hazel Township reaches 100% occupancy. That story and more next. Good evening and thank you for joining us at SSPTV News. I'm Ken Kara. The Samsung Productions app is ready to download and go with you anywhere this summer. Plus, remember, you can watch us in HD on Service Electric Cablevision Channel 513. Now here come your headlines from SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. 3 years ago, Lexington Realty International, headquartered in New Jersey, made a promise to fill the Laurel Mall in Hazel Township to capacity. It is a feat only a few malls have accomplished. Today, officials, mall merchants, and shoppers gathered for a special news conference to find out if that promise was kept. You saw it live on our Facebook page, and now Lisa Sugart has a recap.
Big news today at the Laurel Mall, a press conference held to announce that it is 100% full, but I am stealing the thunder from the men of Lexington Realty International. I am pleased to be joined by Alan Redkinski, who is the president of Lexington, and Eric Frankel. Mr. Redkinski, I'm going to start with you. You told us wonderful news here today. More new stores coming. Tell us who they are.
Well, we actually opened today the final one, the 20th tenant since we took over 3 years ago, Bounce USA. Bounce, the Bounce place is a place again where parents can bring their children for the day to enjoy, to go ahead and basically just have a day out and just relax. Besides that, we have another tenant which we announced, and that's an Italian restaurant opening up down in the strip center, about 11,500 square feet. Again, bring us to 100% occupancy, both between the strip center and the mall itself. We're full.
Now, this was a promise that you made to this community when Lexington Realty came here, I remember. So you kept your promise, and it's growing even beyond that.
We try to keep our word. We try our best. As they say, we aim to please.
And the fact is that they want this to be a destination, a family destination. You have always told me that, Mr. Frankel, that you wanted families to come out and enjoy, hence that you put in the seating and the play center.
Well, we believe that we want to go into the mind of the shopper. I as a man probably do not enjoy shopping as much as my wife. However, how could I go out and make a family day out of it? If you have a place for the kids to play, now with a bouncing place where the kids could have more jumping castles and inflatables, have comfortable seating, free Wi-Fi, a nice bathroom, I could go do my work, check up of course on all the YouTube clips and whatever else I've got from that day, and some work. And my wife can go shopping, my kids can have a good time, and just takes that frustration out of what could sometimes be an angstful day and make it more pleasurable. Also, of course, a shout out to the staff coming here, making a friendly environment and a happy environment goes a long way, and most of all the shoppers over here to keep that positive energy pumping throughout the mall all day.
Very good. And lastly, I'd be remiss if we did not mention the many jobs that are here and the money that you put back into this community. That's wonderful.
Well, as mentioned, we added, since we took over 3 years ago, an additional 400 jobs, which brings the total to 1,000 jobs that Laurel Mall goes ahead and they employ. Aside from that, we contribute over $3 million in taxes. On top of that, we contribute towards the nonprofits an additional $25,000 annual. Overall, shall I say, the Laurel Mall is not so much the mall any longer. It's now a family center. It's a place to be. It's what malls should be throughout the country, and it's what our goal was to be. I could like to add one thing. The malls throughout the country that are suffering, perhaps they haven't jumped on what we tried to jump on, and that is very simple. Make it a destination not just for shopping, but for relaxation, for medical, for service, for retail, of course, but for everything. Bringing everybody in, offering all the services is just what we call a one-stop shop, and it's a place to relax and to enjoy.
Thank you both very much for speaking with me today. Congratulations on your successes. If you haven't been out to the Laurel Mall recently, you don't know what you're missing, so please come out and check it out. Reporting from the Laurel Mall for SSPTV News, I'm Lisa Sugart.
Thanks, Lisa. Tomorrow we will take an in-depth look at how the mall has changed since Lexington Realty took over and get reaction to it. Also, SSPTV recorded today's news conference and will air it as an SSPTV special presentation beginning on Monday. Stay tuned for the exact dates and times. In other news on this Thursday, Hazleton City Council voted 3-2 last night to reject offers from consulting firms that were designed to help financially strapped communities. Instead, Council decided to hold a special meeting next week to ask officials from the State Department of Community and Economic Development to evaluate whether Hazleton qualifies as financially distressed under Act 47. You can read all of the details of last night's meeting and Council's decision in today's article in the Standard Speaker or at standardspeaker.com. Hazleton police responded to the Capri Lounge at 2nd and Alter Streets yesterday for a report of a man with a crowbar attempting to gain entry. Officers found 44-year-old Maruz Wolka breaking into a room and arrested him without incident. Police charged him with possession of a controlled substance, heroin, possession of instruments of a crime, criminal mischief, burglary, and criminal trespass. Well, wouldn't it be cool to take a time machine back to the days of the 1940s? Well, I have the next best thing. SSPTV News intern Christy D. John Domenico has the story.
Have you ever wondered what Eckley was like back in the 1940s? Well, lucky for you, you can learn more about the history of World War II and also be part of the fun events that will take place this weekend. Let's take a trip back to the 1940s. This weekend, Eckley Miners Village will have their 1940s weekend event and swing dance this Saturday and Sunday. The event will take place at 2 locations, Eckley Miners Village and the Freeland Park Pavilion. You will be able to see what life was like during World War II. Nicole Negron, Eckley's education coordinator, says the events are fun for all ages.
We'll have military displays, home front demonstrations, we'll have kids activities, World War II cartoons, a fashion show. We'll have live music from the Galena Bass and Paul Riffin, the fiddler. We'll have DJ Steve Capwell here too.
If you enjoy dancing, you can participate in the swing dance lessons. Show off your moves on Saturday night at the historic pavilion in Freeland Park. Admission is $10 for adults, $9 for seniors, and $6 for the youth. The money goes towards the museum to keep the artifacts, houses, and the village preserved.
Coal mining was a major industry here. It kind of fueled the economy in this area, and so it's pretty important that we keep this for the locals and just for Pennsylvania history in general.
Eckley's role is to really interpret the social history of a mining community. And going back to really when coal mining began in this area, and it continues today, because not only are we still mining coal, but we still have some of those the remnants in the culture that reflect our anthracite mining history.
Bodie Morin is a site administrator at Eckley Miners Village and Anthracite Heritage Museum. He knows how important it is to preserve the village.
Eckley is a very important site, not only in the state but in the country. It's one of the only preserved company towns, really in the United States and maybe even the world. There are towns that are being preserved that reflect the mining heritage, but nothing is as complete as Eckley is. And we have original houses, we have original streets, we have original religious and social buildings that really were very typical of the mining experience and really typical of much of the immigrant experience for the 19th and early 20th centuries.
Make sure to check out this fun and educational event happening from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. this weekend. If you would like more information, call 570-636-2070, check out their website, eckleyminersvillage.com, or visit their Facebook page. For SSPTV News, I'm Christy D. John Domenico.
Thank you, Christy. Well, if you're having a rough Thursday, how about a free box of pizza? Each Thursday, you have the chance to win a delicious box of 12 slices of Frankie's Cold Pizza with their signature sauce and cheese blend, baked fresh with no preservatives. Call 570-459-9813, extension 104. Leave us your name and number. We will pick a winner at random. Frankie's Pizza Express will soon be resuming their cold pizza door-to-door service. Well, just a note before we break, the downtown Hazleton car cruising will be postponed until next Friday. That's the rain date, August 11th. Everything else for First Friday still on as scheduled. DowntownHazleton.org for more information. Well, still to come on SSP TV News in sports, Dave Seaman sits down with me. We'll talk about Dodgers baseball and Penn State and Notre Dame football. This is SSP TV News, your place for 24 hours of your hometown news and information.
This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Charles McElwee is back for another history segment here on SSPTV News. He is a member of the board of directors for the Greater Hazleton Historical Society and Museum, and I know we have been telling people a lot about this, but it's finally here this weekend, the big event. You have a huge historical walking tour.
Right, so a major walking tour focused on the paintings of James Moran. So we'll be focusing on the buildings of downtown Hazleton. If you attended our walking tour in 2014, there actually is a difference because we'll be highlighting the revitalization projects that are underway in historic buildings along Broad Street, while highlighting the history behind some of the buildings that still stand, some that may no longer stand. But our final destination will be the Art League, where the paintings of James Moran's work, a Hazleton native, will be displayed. So we'll start by the Can-Do building, the parking lot next to it on Broad Street, near the corner of Broad and Church. And as we walk along the tour, we'll interpret the buildings really through Moran's work. Much of his work was focused on Hazleton. And we'll conclude with seeing the physical paintings, etchings, drawings that he left behind, and that the D'Angelo family, which acquired much of his work, have generously agreed to display that evening.
This is all part of a huge weekend in downtown Hazleton. Not only is First Friday tomorrow, but it's part of an even bigger extravaganza called Celebrate Hazleton, which is Friday and Saturday. So you are part of that, the Historical Society mixed in with it. This is really going to be a big weekend. A lot of people to come downtown, and you want to have a nice turnout for everybody to see the things that are going on in downtown Hazleton.
Right, lots of activities through Celebrate Hazleton, and really a partnership of so many organizations working to make this event a tremendous success. And to see Moran's paintings, you do not have to, if you can't make Friday's walking tour, his work will also be on display on Saturday. The Art League will have hours then. And some of his work, to give you a sampling, he painted what was the former railroad station located behind what is now the Can-Do building along Mine Street, a painting of North Wyoming Street. He painted scenes from Wilkes-Barre, Jim Thorpe. In many ways a regionalist, but his work spans into different areas, still lives, impressionistic works. It's a diverse array and stunning in person and moving. So I think people will have a moment when they see his legacy. And certainly the entire theme of this walking tour is focused on what he produced as an artist in terms of how he interpreted Hazleton and its built physical environment.
Well, this is just one part of this huge weekend. As we said again, your walking tour starts tomorrow at 6 p.m. at the Can-Do building. So can we still get tickets, or can we show up tomorrow, or do we have to go online and get them in advance? How booked are you?
Well, I encourage you, if you're watching this now, visit downtownhazleton.org and make sure that you do purchase tickets. It's $10 per person, free for children. If you decide you may not attend until tomorrow, just please show up and you can pay, but we encourage you to purchase online before this sells out.
All righty. I know these are very popular. You've had huge crowds before. It's a wonderful experience. If you want to know more about the history and you enjoy Charles being here each and every week, you're going to love the tour because he'll take you through everything and talk all about it. So please, and support the Greater Hazleton Historical Society and Museum. The website is?
HazletonHistory.org.
All right, they need donors big time to make sure that this history in our area is preserved, and we hope to see you this weekend in downtown Hazleton.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
It rained just in time yesterday for me to postpone cutting the grass. I was productive and watched 2 hours of Netflix. It's looking like I'll actually have to work tonight. Here's our local forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight we do have a chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly before 2 a.m. It will be mostly cloudy with a low of 64 degrees. We have a 50% chance of precipitation and we might see new rainfall amounts between 1/10 and 1/4 of an inch. For our Friday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly after 8 a.m. Partly sunny with a high near 80 degrees, 30% chance of some rain. New rainfall amounts between 1/10 and 1/4 of an inch once again. And then a hazardous weather outlook Friday afternoon into the evening to the night too. Thunderstorms will have the potential to produce heavy rainfall, damaging winds and large hail. The showers and their storms will taper off Friday night. Friday night, again, showers and thunderstorms likely. Mostly cloudy, will have a low of 63 degrees. As we move on and go to Saturday, showers and thunderstorms likely, mainly before 8 a.m., partly sunny with a high of 75, 60% chance of precipitation. At night, low of 55, partly cloudy skies. Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near 74. Sunday night, a chance of showers, partly cloudy with a low of 58, 30% chance of precipitation. Kick off a new week Monday, high of 73, mostly cloudy skies. We have a 50% chance of some showers. Monday night, a chance of showers, mostly cloudy, low of 60, 40% chance of precipitation.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Valley High Food Drive-In, the area's oldest ice cream and fast food restaurant. Open daily 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sundays and holidays 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Stop by for our ice cream and yogurt, now featuring fat-free, no sugar-added soft frozen yogurt with flavors like vanilla, strawberry, and strawberries and cream. We also have burgers, hot dogs, fries, and much more. That's Valley High, Route 93 in West Hazleton, and like us on Facebook.
It's a summer tradition, Valley Day in Cunningham, and one of the board members for the CVCO is here to tell us about Lexi Falvello. And you grew up in Cunningham, so you grew up going to Valley Day and participating in CVCO events. You said you played basketball down there.
Yes, I played basketball for CVCO when I was in elementary school. My father was actually a coach, so I grew up also going to Valley Day. It's something that people in the Valley and people outside the Valley would always do.
What did you do when you were young at Valley Day? Do you remember what you did up?
Well, I played games and I probably ate a lot.
It was always the food and games, I remember when I was growing up. And CVCO, so I live in Cunningham now, and I think part of the citizenship test was I had to, the Cunningham Valley Civic Organization?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And what do you guys do? You said it's a lot more than people may realize, including maintaining the pool down there.
Yes, a lot of people think that Cunningham Borough is responsible for the pool and the maintenance and the upkeep. However, it is our board and the CVCO organization that is responsible for the maintenance and the upkeep of the swimming pool. And this year in 2017, it did undergo renovations that were quite costly. So, and Valley Day is our biggest fundraiser to help with the costs for the pool, for the upkeep and maintenance of the pool.
And you said you don't necessarily have to live in the Valley area to use the pool down there?
You don't have to live in the Valley to use the pool. It is a membership. There is an application that can be completed. They can be found on our website for CVCO. Also, we have a Facebook link that you can access the pool applications, although at this point in the summer, it's a little late, but if you want to keep it in mind for next year, it would be something that you might want to consider. It is
nice. I can't think of a public pool right now, off the top of my head at least, that they can access. And so a lot going on with the CVCO. And of course, you don't have to be from the Valley to go to Valley Day and enjoy it. We were talking before this, and I think you went on for 15 minutes listing what goes on. So it starts on Valley Night, and there's a parade.
Yeah, Valley Night starts at 5 p.m. There is a fireman's parade that begins at 7 p.m. We also offer a pet show Saturday morning. There's an 8-mile race as well that begins Saturday morning, registration at 7. The race kicks off at 8 o'clock. There's a baby parade, and we also have Junior Olympics. And the food and games open up at noon for Valley Day.
So a lot going on August 4th and 5th, and of course, and chicken and corn. We did a show on Valley Day, I think, when I first got back here to SSPTV, and that was my segment. I focused just on that because that's very popular. You said that's available Saturday.
Yes, that's available Saturday beginning at noon.
So a lot of good stuff to do. Plus, there's something you mentioned, a prize-orama that you can purchase the tickets in advance for to try to win some great prizes.
Yes, prize-orama consists mostly of cash prizes. And that's also done on a donation basis. So various businesses and people within the community are donating either cash, gift cards for gas, or other gift cards that can be used locally in the community. And you can purchase those tickets ahead of time. I think Gould's IGA is offering those tickets, and Valley Pharmacy as well.
So there's babies, there's puppies, there's running, there's really something for everybody. And we didn't even mention there's live entertainment as well that will go on at Valley Night and Valley Day. So get out there and help out the CBCO on August 4th and 5th.
Time now for sports on SSPTV News.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Stevens, Standard Speaker Sports Editor, back for another Dave Day, and probably a very happy Los Angeles Dodger fan. Dave, sometimes when you're living through history, you don't appreciate it as much. CBS writer for CBS.com, Matt Snyder, said, pointed out this Dodgers team in the regular season so far, not over yet, but definitely one of the best regular season runs so far. So now the question becomes, can they finish in the postseason? That's kind of right where you went when I told you. You didn't smile. You shook your head a bit and said, can they do it in the playoffs? They get you Darvish. They seem like they're all in with this team.
There's no doubt about it that they want to win right now. They're by going for you Darvish. They could have stood pat, and I think they still would have been one of the overwhelming favorites to win it all this year. They went out and got the best pitcher that was available at the trade deadline in Yu Darvish. And he had struggled before the trade deadline, but now going to a new city and being with a new team and in a first-place team, it'll be interesting to see how he picks up back his game. Again, the Dodgers need him? Probably not necessarily, but when you get a chance to get him and you're not really giving up much from your current 25-man roster, it shows me that you want to win right now.
And Dave, I don't get to watch the Dodgers a lot, but from what I read in this article, there have been some injuries. It's not like it's been all smooth sailing. They've just had the depth and had some people stepping up.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, Clayton Kershaw's been out for the last few weeks with a back injury, but they've had other guys like Alex Wood pick it up. Rich Hill has pitched phenomenally well over the last couple innings. Both of those are left-handed pitchers, which are a premium in the playoffs too. Brandon McCarthy has pitched well, so they've had pitching and a lot of a nice mix of the younger players and veteran players that, and they have guys coming off the bench that have really stepped up their games too. So it's a year, right now it's a dream year too, but I've seen this happen before. The last 4 years they've won division titles and gotten to the playoffs where they've perhaps run into a better team, and they've hit the skids at that point. So now it's time to put up or shut up, as they say.
Dave, let's finish up with college football talk. Penn State and Notre Dame. Penn State opens up camp, and Dave, I showed you my favorite Town and Gown Preview magazine. A lot of locals in there. We mentioned like Rich Scarcella doing an article there. But I showed you this picture of Saquon Barkley in the Rose Bowl. It was when Penn State was making their comeback in that game against USC, and he kind of just motioned, calm down everybody, we got this. And I thought in my heart of hearts they were going to pull it out. They didn't. I was devastated after that because I thought that's going to be the defining moment of the season. Dave, you said something that was profound. You said, no, better things to come this year. Everyone still calm down. So as we look at the 2017 Nittany Lions, you prophetic, you think better things to come?
They could be better, but the record might not indicate it because
the
schedule is a little bit harder this year. Going to Iowa to start the Big Ten schedule is not going to be a picnic. That's never an easy place to play. After you play Indiana, who will be improved defensively, and they gave the Lions fits for 3 quarters last year. The Lions only scored 14 points over the first 3 quarters. You have Indiana, and then you go to Northwestern for an early start too. And Penn State hasn't played well against Northwestern. You get a week off, then Michigan comes to town. Very next week you're going to Ohio State. So it's not going to be easy this year. Will Penn State be better? I think they'll definitely be better this year. But will the record show it? Remains to be seen.
Dave, I've said there's room for improvement with this football team. As I look, they got to get better in the return game on special teams. I mean, if they need to play a complete game, if they could play how they did in second halves of games last year, they could, I don't want to say dominate in the Big Ten, but they should have another dominating season if they could limit the mistakes, if Trace McSorley could improve the completion percentage a little bit. They had a lot of big plays last year. Just get a little bit more consistent. Could be a great year for the Nittany Lions. Let's go to Notre Dame now. You mentioned the passing of one of their coaches who was legendary. You said not only as a coach, but also as an announcer.
Oh, he was a fabulous growing up. You watch college football, Penn State, Notre Dame, in this area especially. Not only did you get to watch the games on that Saturday, but then you got to watch the highlights package show, and that's where a lot of us who grew up in the 70s, we got our indoctrination into football at that point. You watched Lindsey Nelson doing the voiceover on the highlights with Paul Hornung, and and Notre Dame was a team everybody watched at that time, and Ara Parseghian, great coach, a legendary coach, and then, as he got older, you knew of him more as an announcer, but somebody who was always in tune with college football, and you always associated him with Notre Dame, but then you associate him with other great games that you might have watched over the years.
As well, Notre Dame, they should have brighter days again this season, Dave. I think we'll see improvement there for the Fighting Irish.
I don't think there's going to be any doubt about that. I think you can't lose as many close games as they did last year without getting some of those reversed in your favor. They're going to have a tough schedule with Georgia coming to South Bend in the second week of the season too. That'll tell a lot about the Fighting Irish, and they can't look past that first game either. They play Temple, I believe, first game at Notre Dame, and Temple's been known to give teams fits over the last few years too. So Temple's established itself. They're not going to go into South Bend, scared or anything. So Notre Dame has to be ready for that first game.
We should have a great fall sports season coming up, Dave. It's right around the corner, so make sure you're checking out the Standard Speaker and us here at SSP TV News.
Good evening, everyone. Here's today's Talk of the Town. The Nuremberg Community Players present the musical Funny Girl. The shows will run on August 3rd, 4th, and 5th at 7 p.m. and on August 6th at 3 p.m. All seats are $15, and you can call the number on your screen to purchase tickets. Eckley Miners Village will host its annual 1940s weekend event and swing dance on August 5th and 6th at the Village and Freeland Park Pavilion. Admission is $10 for adults, $9 for seniors, and $6 for children. Children 3 and under are free. The event hours are 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on both days. The Holy Annunciation Parish at St. Gabriel's Church in Hazleton will have their parish festival on Friday, August 4th from 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. The festival will continue on Saturday, August 5th from 10 a.m. until close. And that's today's Talk of the Town. SSPTV News would like to send our sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Kevin Wayne Black, Sr. of McAdoo. Services are private under the direction of the McHugh Wilczek Funeral Home. Victor P. Bruno, Jr. of Marysville, Ohio. Memorial is August 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Wilson Funeral Home in Marysville, Ohio. And Pauline Garenza of McAdoo. Mass is Friday at 11 a.m. at the All Saints Church in McAdoo. The Stanley E. Anilowski Funeral Home is assisting the family.
Remember, the downtown Hazleton car cruising has been moved to its rain date, August 11th. That's next Friday. For a complete list of everything happening at Celebrate Hazleton and First Friday this week, go to downtownhazleton.org and come back tomorrow for more SSP TV News. Take it easy, everyone.
Watch us online anytime at ssptv.com and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.